Captain Kate comes to the rescue. This is your Cruise News Fix. Welcome back, it's January 3rd, and we've got a few stories brewing here in the cruise world. We're gonna start off with something a little positive, and that's about P&O Cruises' brand new ship, the Arvia. I know a lot of American cruisers aren't very familiar with P&O, as they primarily sail around the UK and Australia, but they're a Carnival brand, and their ships Iona and the aforementioned Arvia are LNG-powered Excel-class ships, much like the Mardi Gras and Celebration. And today, the Arvia made her inaugural call on the Lisbon cruise port, which is expecting an exceptional year with more than 650,000 passengers visiting the city in 2023. That's an increase of 95% from last year. Now, the port expects this to be a record-breaking year, with the number of calls even surpassing 2019 prior to the pandemic. So that's some good cruise news, right? If all the recent crazy snow and storms hadn't wreaked enough havoc on the travel industry, yesterday, heavy dense fog at the Port of Tampa Bay caused a 9-hour delay for 3 incoming cruise ships. The Norwegian Dawn, Royal Caribbean's Brilliance of the Seas, and the Celebrity Constellation were unable to dock until the fog burned off. Now, while this delay isn't the cruise line's fault, we have confirmed that Royal Caribbean will be giving all outgoing passengers a half-day of fare as onboard credit. The heavy fog has been causing problems around northern Florida, mainly on the eastern side of the state, but also around the Gulf of Mexico. Now, normally extra time on a cruise ship is a good thing as far as I'm concerned, but think about this. You're ready to get off, everything's packed, you either have a flight or you're ready to get back on the road and maybe you have to get back to work. And then there's the passengers who are waiting to get on board. Now, I know that when cruise day comes for me, I'm itching to leave that hotel and get to the port. And most checkouts are at like 11 or 12, and that makes for a very uncomfortable wait for everyone involved. So once again, Mother Nature is showing us just who's boss. And we've been on a lot of cruises, and thankfully, weather has never been a real huge factor for us, but I know a lot of cruisers have been affected by Mother Nature in one way or another, and we'd love to hear your story if it's happened to you. So please, drop a comment below. And I want to take just a second to thank you again for supporting the cruise world, and we would love it if you'd consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. We love cruising, and we have a lot more great cruise content on the way. Now, unless you've been under a rock, you know that immigration is a hot button item here in the United States, and people from around the globe are making their way to the southern border in search of a better life. And the cruise industry has been quite busy recently with the rescuing of refugees, most of whom are fleeing from Cuba. Since December 30th of last year, cruise ships have come to the rescue at least 6 times. 3 rescue operations occurred in the Caribbean yesterday alone, marking a very busy start to the year. The Carnival Sunrise made a rescue its final sea day on December 30th while heading back to Miami, and safely brought several refugees on board. On New Year's Eve, Virgin Voyages' Scarlet Lady came to the rescue of 18 refugees from a boat that was sinking. The Carnival Dream rescued 20 refugees yesterday, which the US Coast Guard later picked up. And also yesterday, Captain Kate and the Celebrity Beyond came to the rescue of 19 refugees that were stranded on a makeshift boat made out of styrofoam and wood. Carnival's flagship Celebration did rescues on back-to-back days. Yesterday, the ship picked up 19 people on a small boat off the coast of Cuba. Then just this morning, while heading back to Miami, the Celebration rescued another group of 5 refugees. This is happening more and more. When I was on the Carnival Horizon last September, we turned around to help a small boat off the coast of Cuba, and we provided the occupants with food, water, and a radio because they didn't want to be rescued. They wanted to continue on and try to reach their destination. It is maritime law for a cruise ship to help anyone distressed at sea, and the US Coast Guard will often meet the cruise ship and pick up the refugees, who will then likely be returned to Cuba in the coming days and weeks. A group of business owners in Bar Harbor, Maine are suing the town, claiming that the new restrictions imposed on cruise ship passengers breaks federal law. The lawsuit challenges the 1,000-person daily disembarkation limit, which voters passed back in November. Several businesses directly tied to cruise ship tourism argue that the town is overstepping its authority and that only federal agencies can direct vessels where they can and cannot operate. And local laws that ban federally licensed vessels violate the US Supremacy Clause. However, a survey taken in 2021 did find that 55% of Bar Harbor's population saw cruise ships as having a negative overall impact on the town. The business owners have asked a judge to grant an injunction against the new restrictions. And that's your cruise news fix for today. Next up, check out this vlog from Grand Cayman, where Mother Nature decided to drop some crazy weather on our excursion. And as always, remember, life is short and cruising is fun.